One of my clients said that on a call last week, she is finding it really challenging to go ahead and price or actually ask for a higher price. She runs a business, she's doing amazing in her work, and the clients really, really love the kind of outcomes that they're experiencing, right? And she asked me this just like a whisper, why is it that I cannot ask for the price that I would really like, even though I decided, although we had that conversation and she confirmed that she was definitely going to hike up her price, but she was not able to. Tell me something. Is this you? Then just stick on. Um, if you've ever felt that gap, right, as to what is it that I am worth versus the kind of ask I make with people, um, why does it not really map? Why is there such a big disparity between the two of them? And to be honest, I want to start with something very simple that we're not really talking about a pricing strategy, all right? We're not really looking at how can you make a bigger ask, or are we? So here's what I'm going to tell you today, right? After listening to so many people talk about their conversations with their line managers, conversations about asking for a hike, negotiating, even when they're changing their jobs, negotiating their salaries, they're not able to make that ask. And what is that one thing that keeps falling short? So I know the media reviews have just gone past, and a lot of business folks also seem to be in the same conversation with themselves, really, that when it's time to price my products, I feel like I am overpricing it. And when I ask them one simple question, do you think it's worth it? They say yes. Do you think you deserve it? And the answer is again a resounding yes. But what I see as a pattern, right, is it's not because you don't know your worth. It's definitely not because you don't deserve it, but it's more about something that your brain is okay to ask, but every time you make the ask, your body kind of pulls you back because that one final sentence, right? It kind of makes you feel like a little unsafe, a little more seen, a more like, am I coming across as someone who is greedy or taking up too much space? And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Now, I just want to put it out there that if you are undergoing any kind of medical challenges, right, any kind of psychological issues that you think um, need a solution, then I would recommend that you please see a qualified professional. Work that we do here involves a little bit of self therapy, but might not really take care of any kind of medical situations if you're undergoing them. All right. Hi, I'm Tejal, and I have spent approximately 25 years in the corporate sector, working with Fortune 500 companies, working with people and training them, upskilling them, uh, you know, and I have trained myself for the last 25 years on a lot of things that they do not teach you in the boardroom. Things like the nervous system, things like somatic breathing, effects of cortisol in your body, of how you can change everything with just your subconscious mind coming alive, how your body carries all of your life experiences. And this is where I do the majority of my work, where we don't just look at the problem in the sense of the problem, but more like um, how do we make it safe so that your body feels safe receiving everything that your heart desires. Because remember, your desires are nothing but your future claims of what's due to you, right? So, with that, let's dive in. So, yeah, let's talk about why is it that you undercharge? Why is it that you're not able to place a price for the services that you offer? And like I said, it's not because you are not good and you know that you are worthy. You know that you are really, really good, right? That's what has gotten you past from a lot of life experiences and brought you here. So let me just ask you this one question, okay? Um, and it's going to get a little messier, okay, than it sounds. Um, when I say these statements, when I say, uh, I looked at the number that came through my research, through what my comparative analysis said, and yet I stated a smaller number. What does it feel like? Does it feel like you? They asked for what my prices were and that they can be flexible around it. They could negotiate it. And I still went and said the smaller number out of fear that they might reject me. Um, I delivered a certain outcome in more than ways that I promise or in quantity. And I still felt like I was overcharging them. Or when suddenly there's a windfall or a downpour of something that just lands in your lap, a bonus that you were not expecting, um, maybe just some ancestral money. What do you do with that? Do you keep that? Do you give it away to someone? Because I remember for the longest time in my life, I thought it was more honest to give it away, and that is what I used to do. I used to give it away. So here's what I've noticed across all of these conversations or all of these statements is that it's not that you don't know your value. It's actually quite the opposite. It's the most capable ones, the ones who over deliver, over give, who underprice, uh, the ones who clients rave about endlessly. And, actually, that they tell you that you should be charging much more, you should be asking for a higher salary, or I know it is much better outside in the market for you. Uh, so we know that the work is good. We also know that the testimonials in some form or the other, whether it's your clients, whether it's your stakeholders, they are coming back to you and telling you how good you are at your work. The gap that I'm talking about, right? Every time that you look at that gap from what you deserve to what you are receiving, that gap in between kind of doesn't logically fit in. And the moment you are about to give it a price tag, somewhere in between, you kind of brace yourself. A little internal, ooh, this seems a tad too much. It's just right, but it just feels very uncomfortable, right? And this is the exact thing that is keeping you away from getting what you truly deserve, and this is the exact same thing that is also keeping you very, very safe and comfortable, because the other side of it is going to feel a little uncomfortable, and we're not ready for that. Physically, in your body, you're not ready for that. So, this is what is really happening, right, in the background. And you might have realized it somewhere as well that faster than your thoughts run this one line or one statement in your mind that goes, what is it am I that I'm worth? Am I really worth it? Yeah, I want it, but what gives me the authority to state my ask like that? And It is so deep that it has gotten wired into you. Um, and maybe wanting too much, wanting so much that someone might label it greedy. Maybe expressing your thoughts, expressing your asks, expressing your price actually made you learn that you were being too much, or it got you rejected, it got you cast out, it got you resented. And maybe, or maybe you watch someone in your family, right, get shamed for it. Maybe you were the good one. Maybe you didn't need much, you didn't make a lot of fuss, you didn't take up much space, and you got loved for that. You got validated for being the most accommodating, the most adjusting, the most understanding of the lot. And that became your safety language. That even years after now, when you do the math, you're bigger the ask, right? Bigger your dream. Even expressing that equal to danger. So you keep on shrinking and trying to stay safe. You go ahead and soften the price. You don't ask for the raise that you so much deserve. And all of this is because a very old part of you is still trying to protect the only way it knows how, by shrinking, by hiding, by not being visible. And this is not something that a strategy can fix. This is not something that changing and skipping between multiple coaches will help you. What will really help you is, you know that you've got the business knowledge, you know that you have your work knowledge with you, right? But you will only be able to get to the next level of asking and then receiving the moment your body's definition of safety changes. Let me know if you're with me so far. It's not because you don't know something. It's because that you are completely worth it, and now your mind and body are both tired of this same pattern showing up again and again. A lot of resentment is what you walk away with when you do this. Resentment towards self, resentment towards others. Uh, and frankly speaking, it's nobody's fault, right? It's you're just doing what you're wired for. And a simple pep talk that go ask your worth, just name your price. And it's all the head talk that's coming to you. That's what your brain is telling you. But your body seems to have a problem with that. Your body hasn't caught on, if you will, with that same situation. So let me just give you enough of the why so you know that it feels right, or whether inside. I mean, check in with yourself whether this feels all right, right? So every time your brain flags something as a threat, that little thing inside of your brain, the almond shaped alarm goes off and it says that something is sneaky. And it goes to that part where you can make a rational choice. And so, in that exact moment that you need to actually state the amount, the ask, the price, the brave part of your brain suddenly has gone offline. You're not imagining a freeze, you're actually experiencing it bodily. And the reason why you feel so automatic is that, it got wired pretty early on. And then from the first incident, it was just reinforced every time you shrank and felt a little bit of relief. Say, you felt a little bit of safety. Every time, you did not become too much, you kind of felt that that discomfort just suddenly went away. And your brain filed it. See, shrinking works. You have been rehearsing this for years, haven't you? And good news lives in the same fact. If you learned and rehearsed something, it can be unlearned and it can be rehearsed. Your nervous system is very plastic. We've heard about this, right? And it can learn a new answer and keep repeating to itself by saying it is safe. Uh, this is something on more on the biology side of things, if you will, more in the body versus the brain. And it's not just your nervous system that's doing this. So this is what I really want to leave you with, right? Here's a quick reframe that you can do. And I want you to actually feel it, not hear it. Your undercharging was never a flaw. You not asking for your worth was never a flaw. You are one of the brilliant ones. And you know this, that the younger part of you that felt safe, felt loved, it worked then and it got you to where you are today. But but it's outdated now. You're a grown up, and the things that kept you safe at 10 are now maybe not working for you when you are in your 30s and your 40s. And this will show up as a pattern in a lot of other things that you do as well, right? The hiding, the shrinking will happen in relationships as well, personal relationships. The hiding and shrinking and wanting to fit in will happen in the family as well, because that is expected of you. The hiding, the shrinking, not asking for what you truly want, not setting those boundaries will happen in your health. Doing things for everybody on the list with your name right at the bottom. It will keep showing up in more ways than one. And what the body cannot forget, it harbors, it makes it stronger, causing inconvenience, inviting diseases, illnesses, right? So it goes much deeper than you think. And I'm the last person to fearmonger or use manipulative tactics, but if you give this a thought, something that I use with a lot of my clients is if it doesn't stop with you, there's a very high chance that you will finally pass this on to your upcoming children if you don't have them already, or your children are already born with that DNA wired into them, that kind of nervous system wired into them that keeps them small. So, what you exhibit as behaviors and patterns, they pick them too, right? So, if not for your own sake, for the upcoming generation, for both of you, I'd say, right? Let's take a stance and see how to retrain your body and learn being safe. What's the worst case scenario that's going to happen? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Let's go ahead and shut your eyes. See, just ask yourself this one question and feel it. Do not give me the response through your logical brain and rational brain. Just feel this. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? If I were to make this ask, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? Make that feeling stronger. If you feel any kind of heaviness, take a deep breath and release it. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? And while you're doing that, take a deep breath again to that part where you're feeling the most amount of heaviness, uneasiness, and breathe it out. One more time. Take a deep breath through your nose and breathe that out. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? All right, you've already figured out what's the worst thing that's going to happen. Now, on the same note, I want to say come back and ask yourself this question: what is the best thing that's going to happen with this? More people will see me, more people will hear me. And I do this because I want to do it. I want to make that ask. I want to have this conversation. What is the best thing that could come out of that conversation? And feel that in, breathe that in. All of that comfort, the joy, the emotions that come up, gratitude, what comes up next. Keep breathing deeper. Feel it more deep into your body. Take a deep breath. That same space that was heavy or felt uncomfortable. Breathe deep into that with the positivity, the goodness, the positive outcomes of it all. And breathe it out. So if you're thinking, okay, that's me, how is it that she knows that's me? Then here's your next step. Go ahead and build, I've built a free assessment that talks about the expansion quotient. It shows you this exact same pattern running underneath your ask, the specific shape that your ask takes in about 2 minutes. It's absolutely free and it's yours to keep. If you think after taking that test you really want to do something about it and you want to book a call, you have a link over there as well. And just understand one more thing, that you can change it. Whatever was in the past does not need to be the same. The patterns can be changed very easily. It all needs a little bit of effort, a little bit of recognition, awareness, and then reprogramming. And all that it needs is some time for you to keep practicing, right? Through repetition. Whatever you practice just now, right? How to replace your old particular pattern and the kind of emotion that it brings into your physical body. This is just a sample of the work that we do inside the wealth expansion code. So I'll go ahead and leave you with this, that if you think that you're being underpaid, it does not mean that you're not brilliant. It means that there's a lot of humility in you. And I see that. And I see that this pattern is what exists and that is what is running you. And all that I want to ask you is to be brave and change that pattern. See how it leads you to freedom. See how good it gets. Let's do it together.